Hi, this is me, Priyanka Neelakrishnan. Welcome to Enterprise Security, Episode 5 on the MGM breach wasn't a hack, it was a phone call. In September 2023, every slot machine on the Las Vegas Strip stopped working at the same time. Digital room keys failed. Hotel reservation system went offline. ATMs at MGM properties displayed error messages. For 10 days, one of the largest casino operators in the world ran on pencil and paper. The press called it a hack. It wasn't, it was a phone call. I am Priyanka Neelakrishnan. I've spent over a decade building enterprise security products at world leading organizations. In the next 12 to 15 minutes, I'm going to walk you through how a 10-minute conversation with a help desk cost MGM $100 million. Why the same playbook worked on Caesars Entertainment a week earlier, and what every enterprise should be doing differently because of it. Let's start. A quick disclaimer: everything I say in this video is my personal opinion. It does not represent the views of any current or past employer. Every fact comes from public sources, SEC filings, public reportings from Reuters and the Wall Street Journal, statements that threat actors themselves made publicly, and Okta's subsequent disclosures. And I have no financial relationship with any vendor if I mention any. Now, let's get into the incident. Before we talk about how this happened, let's talk about how big it was. In its 8K filing with the SEC, MGM disclosed an estimated $100 million negative impact to property EBITDAR for the third quarter of 2023, attributable directly to the cyber incident. They also reported less than $10 million in one-time response expenses, consultants, legal fees, and recovery work. The operational disruption lasted roughly 10 days. Slot machines were down, digital room keys failed, staff were handing out physical keys at the front desk. The reservation system was also offline. Loyalty programs could not process points. ATMs at MGM properties wouldn't dispense cash. The threat actor group later claimed they exfiltrated 6 terabytes of data from MGM's systems. Now, here's the part that should make every CISO uncomfortable. All of that, the $100 million hit, the 10 days of chaos, the 6 terabyte of data, it started with one phone call. This is a direct quote from the attackers themselves. The ALPHV ransomware group, also known as Black Cat, published on a malware research platform shortly after the attack. Quote, all ALPHV ransomware group did to compromise MGM resorts was hop on LinkedIn, find an employee, then call the help desk. That's it, end quote. That's not security analysis. That's the criminals describing their own work. They were almost bragging about how easy it was. There was no zero-day exploit, no malware that snuck past endpoint detection, no firewall misconfiguration, just a LinkedIn search and a phone number. Let me walk you through what actually happened, step by step. The whole thing is more sophisticated than they call the help desk, but the entry point is exactly that mundane. Step 1: reconnaissance via LinkedIn. The attackers identified a senior MGM employee through a public LinkedIn profile. Job title, phone, photo, name, sometimes phone number. All of it free, all of it public. This took minutes. Step number 2, the phone call. They called the MGM help desk and posed as that employee. They asked for a password reset and an MFA reset on the employee's account. The help desk had no out of band identity verification. They didn't call the employee back at a no number. They didn't require manager attestation. They just reset it. Step number 3, Okta plus Azure Admin Access. Because the targeted account was a privileged one, the reset credentials gave the attackers super administrator access to MGM's identity provider, Okta, onto their Azure tenant. From the identity provider, almost everything in MGM's estate was reachable. Step 4. This is the part that most coverage gets wrong. Once inside, the attackers didn't just sit there. They established a secondary identity provider under their own control, integrated with MGM's environment. That meant even if the help desk eventually realized the original account was compromised and logged it out, the attackers still had a way back. Persistent, independent, hard to find. Step 5. Only after weeks of reconnaissance did ALPHV deploy ransomware. They hit more than 100 VMware ESXi hypervisors inside MGM's network simultaneously. By the time the ransomware activated, the casino floor was already collapsing. Here is how this played out in real time. Late August 2023, Scattered Spider, the threat group with public connections to ALP HV, hit Caesars Entertainment with the same playbook. Caesars reportedly negotiates a roughly $15 million ransom payment quietly. The public has no idea this had just happened. September 8th, the attackers gain initial access to MGM through the help desk phishing call. By their own admission, they are inside immediately. September 10th, MGM's security team detects unusual activity. By this point, the attackers have already established the rogue identity provider and are positioning for the ransomware deployment. September 11th, MGM goes public. They post on X, then Twitter, acknowledging a cybersecurity issue. The next day, they file an 8K with the SEC. The casino floor is already in chaos. September 14th, ALPHV publishes a detailed statement on their dark web leak site, essentially bragging about how easy it was. Reuters confirms Scattered Spider as the responsible group. September 20th, MGM declares full system restored. They never paid the ransom, they took the $100 million hit instead. This is one of the most fascinating parts of the whole story, and it's rarely covered. Two casino giants got hit by the same attacker using the same technique within roughly 2 weeks of each other. They made completely opposite decisions. Caesars reportedly paid the ransom, around $15 million, roughly half of the original $30 million demand. They negotiated. The attackers got paid. Consumer information protected after that. Customer-facing operations were not materially disrupted. Caesars disclosed the incident through a calm SEC filing in early September. MGM refused to pay. They took a $100 million EBITDA hit instead, plus less than $10 million in one-time response expenses. Plus they committed to invest up to $40 million in security improvements going forward. Their disruption was visible to every guest, every gambler, every news camera in Las Vegas for 10 straight days. From a pure crisis economics perspective, Caesar's decision was cheaper. But here's the uncomfortable question. If you pay, you're funding the next attack on the next company. Most cybersecurity experts and the FBI advise strongly against paying ransoms for exactly that reason. MGM made the harder choice, and it also cost them 6 times what Caesars paid. There is no clean answer to which was right, but every company watching this needs to have decided in advance which one they would be. Now, let's zoom in on the part that matters most for security teams. Why didn't the help desk verify the caller? This isn't a story about technology failing. It's a story about identity verification not existing in the first place at the human layer. Three things were missing. Number one, no callback verification. Help desk took the inbound caller at their word. There was no policy that said for a privileged account reset, hang up and call the employee back at the known number on file. That single control would have stopped this attack. Number two, no manager attestation. Privileged access resets routed through one help desk agent on one phone call with no second set of eyes. Sensitive role changes need more friction by design, not less. Number three, no identity context. The system itself didn't flag that this reset request had unusual signals. New phone number, privileged account, outside normal hours, geographic mismatch. Any one of those should have triggered a stronger authentication path. None of them did. As a product builder, this is the part that gets me. The technology to prevent this attack existed. Help desk verification workflows existed. Risk aware identity systems existed. They just hadn't been deployed at the most exposed surface in the company, the human one. Now, here's what most coverage of MGM and Caesars missed. This wasn't just an MGM problem. Okta later confirmed publicly that both MGM and Caesars were part of a broader social engineering campaign targeting Okta's customers. The same playbook, multiple companies, help desk wishing to get super administrator access to the identity provider. MGM and Caesars took the public hits because the casino industry is uniquely visible. You can't hide a slot machine outage from 100,000 guests. But there were other Okta customers quietly impacted in the same campaign. Most of them never disclosed. Most of them never made the news. If you're a CISO running an Okta or Azure or any identity provider deployment, and most enterprises are the question to ask isn't, are we secured against the MGM attack? It's which one of the quiet impacted companies were we? Now, I want to address something head on because it comes up every time this attack is discussed. People say MGM had MFA, so why didn't MFA stop this? Here's the answer. MFA didn't fail. MFA wasn't the question. The attackers didn't bypass MFA. They didn't crack a token. They basically didn't intercept a one-time password either. They asked the help desk to reset the MFA, and the help desk did it. If your help desk can reset MFA on a single inbound phone call, MFA is not protecting you. It's theater. Most companies think we rolled out MFA, we are protected against credential theft. MGM proved. MFA is only as strong as the human process that resets it. That's a different problem to solve than deploy MFA. That's a help desk operations problem. That's an identity verification process problem. That's not something a product alone fixes. So, what should you do? Four controls every help desk should have in 2026? 1. Callback verification. Never act on a single inbound call for sensitive changes. Always call back to the employee's known phone number on file in your HR system. 5 extra minutes in process stops this entire attack. 2. Out of band identity proof. For password and MFA resets on privileged accounts, require a video call with badge visible or manager attestation, not just a phone call. The bar should match the sensitivity of the access. Number 3. Risk tiered help desk workflows. A standard user reset is one process. A privileged account reset is a different process with more checks, slower verification by design. Help desks have efficiency targets that punish them for being slow. Privileged access resets should be exempt from those metrics. Number 4. Identity aware fraud detection. The system should flag patterns like reset request from new phone number for privileged account, outside business hours with geographic anomaly, before the help desk agent ever picks up the phone. This is exactly the space where modern identity security platforms add value. All right. Take this checklist into your Monday morning team meeting. Number 1. Can your help desk reset MFA on a single inbound phone call? If yes, you have an MGM shaped risk. Number 2. Is there a different process for privileged account resets versus standard user resets? If they are the same process, you have an MGM shaped risk. Number 3. When was the last time your help desk team did social engineering training? Not generic phishing training, specifically wishing. The MGM attackers were native English speakers, articulate, friendly, and well prepared. Your team needs to have practiced against that. Number 4. If an attacker reset MFA at midnight on a privileged account, would anything alert? Number 5. And the question I really like every CISO to ask: could a junior IT contractor do what the MGM help desk did today at your company? Here's what I want you to remember about MGM. They had Okta, they had MFA deployed, they had a security budget that, after the breach, included up to $40 million in new investment. The attacker had a phone and a LinkedIn search. The next decade of security isn't about better tools. It's about hardening the gaps between them. And most of those gaps are human. Identity is a process, not a product. The companies that internalize that ahead of their first MGM shaped incident are the ones that don't become the next case study. If this breakdown was useful, subscribe. Breakdowns from someone who builds the product. No vendor pitches, no hype, just what works. This is me, Priyanka Neela Krishnan, signing off until next time. See you on the next one. Bye.